How's it going? Welcome back to Tegridywood. If you're new to the channel, my name's Mike and I'm in my first year of starting a firewood business, and I also decided to do a YouTube channel along with it. So yeah, if you're into watching somebody struggle through the trials and tribulations and all the learning that happens in a first year of a business, this channel's for you. So today in the wood yard, I need to understand what's dry and what isn't. I started splitting wood back in March. Yeah, toward the end of March. I was clearing if you want to go back and watch the videos, this is a old chicken run over here, and it was all grown up with little bitty maple tree. It was just a disaster, trash, everything. If you want to go back, my earliest videos, you can see what I did to get this place looking the way it is now. But I am in firewood selling season, and I know some of my maple, at least, is very dry and ready to go. We've had a great drying season on the back end of the summer. Spring was wet, early summer was wet, but the back half of the summer has been dry and sunny and windy, and they get plenty of sun here, so things are drying out really well. I do have a multitude of species, so I wanted to just kind of go through some of the things I harvested back in March, April, May. Some of the stuff I didn't get my hands on until just a couple weeks ago. So yeah, today we are going to get the moisture meter out. We are going to sample these wood piles and find out exactly what it is I have that's dry enough to sell. And then we'll get to start seeing about selling some of this firewood. It's been fun collecting it, but I think kind of to actually be a firewood business, you have to sell some of it. So let's go find out what we got. All right, so what we're going to do here is, this is my oldest stuff. We'll get one of these bigger pieces here. Let's see if there's something here in the middle I can bust loose. There we go. Get back in there. I didn't bring my hatchet. So, like everything I do out here, I use an 8-pound maul. All right, that is currently my oldest, from the oldest maple that I got. So let's get her to about 7.5%. That seems right, because I've taken some of this to my house to burn in my campfire, and yeah, it burns awesome. It just goes right up. I started with like a piece of cardboard and a little bit of like 4 or 5 little branches. Now this piece here is a little deeper in the game. It still feels really light. It feels like it's going to be no problem. That's it, right? So that's going to be my inside piece right there. Feels cool to the touch. I don't know if you can see that. That's just under 12%. Dry firewood. All right. We'll get some other samples. What about this one? Not loose at all, maybe. Come on, baby. Oh, look at that. Something going on in there. I don't know what that was. Middle of first stack one. All right. You can feel the cool side. Pretty easy to tell which side was. All right, here we go. 9.4. Right as a bone. That was the middle of the run. All right. Let's go check out the rest of it. It doesn't have to be at the bottom, but we're in the middle, but I feel like if this stuff is going to be dry. All right, this piece right, Chaw. This is one of the more new ones. Not quite on the end, but close. And then the last one I have is the last of that. Okay. Right there, I followed that with my eyes. I saw the split side. So, what does this look like? 12.3. That's crazy. That's awesome. I was worried that stuff wasn't going to be dry yet. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Catch a tiger by his toes. Let's see if we can move this guy. There we go. Chinga. Some of this stuff, I mean, some of it I just put over there. Well, I guess it's been 2 or 3 weeks of 80 and 90 degree weather with very low humidity. So. It felt different, the way that split. I don't know why it's beeping. Right there. So that's the most recent stuff I put up. That whole row, well, not the most recent, but on that row, and that's ready to go. That whole row, I feel confident I'm ready to sell that. That is good news. This is the oldest hackberry I had. I was building these out together, but I had, you know, the wood come in at different times. And I had just a big load of hackberry come in. Let's see here. Let's get us a good piece out of here. Where are we at? Oh, come on, baby. There we go. All right, so we got a piece of hackberry. All right. Some of my oldest hackberry. It's not easy to get the... I'm hitting it easy because, well, one, I want to be able to see where it split. Two, it didn't want to stand up. In typical hackberry fashion, it's stringy as all get out. All right. So right there. I don't know why it's beeping all of a sudden, but feeling good about that. High teens. Just under 17. Awesome. Let's go grab another one. Let's find another piece further down the road. This looks like a nice one right here. It's got a lot of little stuff on top of it though. Let's see it. Sorry. It's got that rough bark that wants to grab. So here we go. All right. Sorry about my camera work. Oh, that worked out good. Nothing wrong with that. 12-1, that was even drier. All right, now here, it's a piece of honey locust. I don't want to sit flat for me. Come on now. There we go. Okay. Now this I do not expect to be dry. I'll do. Yeah. So there you go, 22-3. So, man, some of that stuff's gonna be ready. I did split it relatively small. Man, it's just been a good drying year, I think. Good Lord. That's a big old piece of hackberry. We'll just take off top for that. And then this is from the end of that row. Now that's right there. That was a bigger piece at the end of that first row, so it's right there. Still feeling good about that. I still feel comfortable putting that in somebody's wood rack. All right, now this one. Now this is ash. Oh, well, this lighter stuff is hackberry. That's right. That's right. So I ran out of ash, started doing hackberry, got my hands on some more ash, and I'm finishing it off with ash. So that's hackberry right there. So I can do a test of the hackberry just to see what it's all about, but let's see what some of this ash looks like. I'm gonna do that one. That's just a big piece, but I don't specifically need it out of the middle. This stuff hasn't been here too terribly long. Here, we'll take this guy right here. So there's that. Let's see here. And let's get on some of this other ash. That stuff just looks dry as a bone, but I don't know. We'll see. It looks pretty dry. And then, let's see here. Get some bigger pieces. Piece there. That should give me a pretty good idea on my ash. Piece of ash. Some of that ash for that cash. Come on, son. This is some of the older ash that I have. Let's see what it checks. Oh. So there we go, 13.5. That is good to go. That's ready to burn. All right, in the middle of the row of the ash here, so another piece of ash. Right there. That piece. And it feels light. 10.7. Nothing wrong with that. Good Lord, this wood has been drying this year. That is awesome. All right, this is a piece of hackberry on that row that I talked about. don't know why it beeps sometimes. 19.6. Nothing wrong with that. That is the ash at the end of the line. All right, so that's pretty much everything I needed to do. So my very first wood pile of maple stuff right here that started, in March, all the way back to, I probably split that up early July, maybe mid-July, something like that. I finished this row. So dry as a bone. We are good to go. All that maple is good to go. That's kind of what I was figuring, what I was hoping for, really. What I was really concerned about was whether or not anything else was going to be ready, or if I was just going to have maple to sell. So this is pretty much hackberry and honey locust. The hackberry up here toward the front side, this was ready to go. This is the oldest stuff. Again, this would have been stuff I got back in maybe May. Got it all split up. It was that early stuff there was like 2 cords worth of hackberry that I got from a tree service that delivered it here. I since haven't gotten anything done. I did, so out of here, I checked, that was the piece of honey locust that was ready to go. So I was mixing my honey locust and my hackberry. This is pretty much from here back, that's ready to go. I feel pretty good about the honey locust in here. Basically this whole roll was dry. The honey locust, some of it I might just leave alone if I'm pulling from it, that orange stuff there. I just leave it alone and just pick out this or the hackberry from it, because I think that hackberry's ready to go. Then you come on to this pile. This is where the hickory was from. I know I kind of explained this earlier, but just to kind of give you a brief synopsis here. This stuff was sitting right at like 18%. That is hickory I bought in March or April. I think it was probably April that I bought it. And he said he'd had it for a few months. So I think it might have been cut down last fall, and he just got it split right before I bought it. So yeah, so that's ready to go. So that's cool. So I got some hickory to sell. And then this ash was dry. So yeah, this stuff was all pretty dry. And then that finished it out with more ash. And I believe it was all like right there. It was right on the cusp. It was right at being dry. So by the time I get to sell it, I'm comfortable selling that. If it's at 20, I'm selling it. I mean, it's been hot, sunny, and I have perfect drying conditions here. So to kind of explain it to you, sun comes up over here and sets over there. See, it's setting now. So the situation there, I get sun, and I did this on purpose. You know, I'm facing north and south, and I have that east to west sun that hits it all day long. I'm up on a hilltop. We get a lot of wind up here, and it is, as you can see, it is pretty much sun all day long. So when you have dry weather, things dry out. So I am very pleased with the way this wood yard dries. I think we're ready to start figuring out how to get some of this wood sold. So if you like what you saw, give us that thumbs up. You want to see more, hit that subscribe button. And remember, no matter what it is you do or where it is you do it, always do it with integrity.